the Lenores there and Paranoia. Before we heard from the Lenores, we heard from Magic Dirt and Fairy Park. It's probably one of the few songs that Adelita didn't sing on. That is off the Life Was Better album, which they re-released. I think they've also been selling on vinyl. I think the original release was only on CD. That was back in the 1990s, indeed. First up in that set was Marsha's and her new single and called CBF. You're on the Australian Independent Music Show with me, Ben Hessian, and let's play this important announcement.
VOX FM advises that this program may contain material that some people may find confronting or offensive.
Illawarra's 106.9 VOX FM.
And, coming up the Mosh Pit up in Sydney are going to be Hollow Heights, and we're going to be chatting with Hollow Heights fairly shortly. And it's going to be playing a track from the Glimmer of Sun EP songs. Yes, that's the big shake of the head, yes. Okay, and shall we begin with the title track, or shall we go with the first one up there? The top one? Okay. This is called Can't See That Part of Me. And, here we go on VOX FM. The Hollow Heights. Enjoy.
Take your problems away and make your life overturned, but you're wrong. You're never gonna find that in somebody else unless you got it in you. 'Cause you can't love someone unless you love yourself. At least that's what they say, but most of them are fake. But please love yourself enough to let it shine through and touch somebody else. 'Cause you're beautiful. You can't stand the thought of being alone. You won't make it in this world if you're strong by yourself now. You can't see that part of me that makes me feel like I don't wanna breathe. And I can't see that part of you unless we both tell each other just what we feel. You can't see that part of me that makes me feel like I don't wanna breathe. And I can't see that part of you unless we both tell each other just what we feel. My mind ain't a hill valley, it's not a nice place to live. There's angels fighting over demons, don't know which side will win. Watching the time flux through my hands as love passes me by. Feels like the power of love is the power of death. 'Cause no matter how high I get, I always fall back to earth. And there's never anybody there, it's just me in my mind. So won't you please realize no one can come out and save you. Take control of your mind and tell it you're mine. You can't stand the thought of being alone. You won't make it in this world if you're strong by yourself now. You can't see that part of me that makes me feel like I don't wanna breathe. And I can't see that part of you unless we both tell each other just what we feel. You can't see that part of me that makes me feel like I don't wanna breathe. And I can't see that part of you unless we both tell each other just what we feel. If your mind's messed up and you're feeling out of love, say hey, 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 hey. If your mind's messed up and you're feeling out of love, say hey, 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 hey. If your mind's messed up and you're feeling out of love, say hey, 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 hey. If your mind's messed up and you're feeling out of love, say hey, 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 hey. If your mind's messed up and you're feeling out of love, say hey, 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 hey. If your mind's messed up and you're feeling out of love, say hey, 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 hey. If your mind's messed up and you're feeling out of love, say hey, 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 hey. If your mind's messed up and you're feeling out of love, say hey, 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 hey. If your mind's messed up and you're feeling out of love, say hey, 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 hey. If your mind's messed up and you're feeling out of love, say hey. You can't see that part of me that makes me feel like I don't wanna breathe. And I can't see that part of you unless we both tell each other just what we feel. You can't see that part of me that makes me feel like I don't wanna breathe. And I can't see that part of you unless we both tell each other just what we feel. You can't see that part of me that makes me feel like I don't wanna breathe. You can't see that part.
Oh yeah, did you get that? That was Can't See Part of Me. That is by the Hollow Heights. They've got a show on at the Mosh Pit in Sydney this week. And anyway, We have two members of Hollow Heights here in the studio. We have on my left
Matt.
And we have on my right
Ewan.
G'day, Matt and Ewan.
Yeah. G'day.
They're the two halves of the one band. One's the Hollow, one's the Heights. They can't sort of... I don't know, there's a bit of an argument between who's who.
Interpretation.
Anyway, yeah, it's up to interpretation. But, so tell us, how did Hollow Heights begin and when?
Started... Oh, I'm going to get into this microphone.
Yes.
Is that good enough?
Yeah, that's good.
So it started actually just before I joined... It's a really long story. So there's a point about 2 years ago where I was looking to form a band, and I found this website called bandmix.com. And I put up it's sort of like a thing, you put up like a profile of what your experience are and what instruments you can play and all that. And I put it up there, and I got a few messages at the time, I wasn't really interested in anything I was getting shown. And then I sort of forgot about it. 2 years go by. I'm at work, and then I get an email on my phone being like, you received a message on bandmix.com. And I was like, oh, here we go. Someone just found me and is going to send some rubbish music to me. Open it, click on it, and it was Ewan. And he was like, hey, I'm interested in starting the two-piece. This is an album I've got, which is the self-titled album that you can listen to online. And I listened to it, and I was like, whoa. This is actually really amazing. I was really into it. Yeah. And then I was like, I really want to meet him. We should jam. We had a jam, and I was like, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, cool.
That's about it, really.
So, what you're looking for someone, Ewan? Yeah.
Yeah, it was, the Fossilite album was pretty much just me in my bedroom making music, and then I tried to I obviously had to pull it off live, and so I was looking for a bass player and a drummer. Yeah. Couldn't find anyone who was actually committed to it. Project, and then so time went by, and I was like, nah, I really want to give it a go. So did find Matt.
So Matt, you're involved with the Milky Way Mariners. This is a bit of a step away from that sound.
A lot of people have said that to
me. Were you looking for a different direction in music?
No, it just sort of happened that way. I think a lot of people think I like heavy music because it is what I listen to a lot, and probably the way I look as well, the hair, and everyone's like, oh, you're a metalhead, and yes and no. But to be honest, I just love music in general. And when I heard this, it was just so different to what I think was what is happening here in Australia. There's a lot of punk, there's a lot of rock, there's not much fusion of pop and rock and rap, and I don't think that's really happening much in Australia particularly. And I was just like, this is something I think could be different and unique, and I was just willing to get on board with that and push it,
Yeah, no, fair enough. So, who does what?
I drum, he does everything else.
Pretty much.
Okay, fair enough. And so you rap, you do all the loops and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so we... that on new EP, that was all. The only thing that was recorded at the studio was the drums. Okay. And then the rest of it was just me recording it in my bedroom and mixing it and stuff.
Yeah. So, what do you come up with the beat first, and then do the layering over the top, or what's the story?
It's different. It's different for every song. For the song you just heard, that was the bass riff I came up with, and then me and Matt had a jam and came up, fleshed out the structure of it, and then from there I just went back and came up with the lyrics and melody and stuff, the rest of it.
Cool. Let's hear another song, shall we? And let's hear Closer?
Yeah.
Here we go. Talking with Hollow Heights, they've got a gig on at the Mosh Pit up in Sydney. Okay, here we go on VOX FM.
I'm running around to try to get you right off my mind. You don't seem to realize that I don't want you behind my eyes. I can't really feel myself when you're taking up the room, so won't you please just open up and we can move a little closer. What did I do to you? Why do you feel like you gotta hurt me so bad? Remember when we had that sun in our eyes and the fun in our lives? I would draw back there in a heartbeat. I'm running around to try to get you right off my mind. You don't seem to realize that I don't want you behind my eyes. I can't really feel myself when you're taking up the room. So won't you please just open up and we can move a little closer. I'm not always like this, but it's times like these that I fall to my knees and I'm trying to break free from the powers that be holding me back and won't let me breathe. What did I do to you? What did I do to you? I'm running around to try to get you right off my mind. You don't seem to realize that I don't want you behind my eyes. I can't really feel myself when you're taking up the room. So won't you please just open up and we can move a little closer. Taking up the room, so won't you please just open up and we can move a little closer. I'm running around to try to get you right off my mind. You don't seem to realize that I don't want you behind my eyes. I can't really feel myself when you're taking up the room, so won't you please just open up and we can move a little closer. I'm running around to try to get you right off my mind. You don't seem to realize that I don't want you behind my eyes. I can't really feel myself when you're taking up the room, so won't you please just open up and we can move a little closer. I'm running around to try to get you right off my mind. You don't seem to realize that I don't want you behind my eyes. I can't really feel myself when you're taking up the room, so won't you please just open up and we can move a little closer.
Whoa, we're getting closer, talking about music there. So that was Hollow Heights. That's off their EP called Glimmer of Sun. So, So is the EP out?
Yes.
Yeah,
it is.
On the 29th.
Came out on the 29th, yeah.
Okay, cool.
And you can listen to it Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, anywhere.
Yeah,
it's available.
Excellent. So was it a how much kind of music have you been just sort of like jamming together? Is it like co-writing, and how much is it just you come up with the idea, or
most of it's like me? I come up with the idea because I write like the melody and lyrics, but for the song, like you can't see that part of me. Like I came up with the bass line and then Matt came up with the drums, which was a main part of the song. Mm-hmm. So then we both come up with the structure for that, and then I do the lyrics and melody.
How does it all translate to stage?
We run it. So for that song you just heard, and the one before, I play bass and sing, and then Matt plays drums. But then we have use a laptop to run the backing tracks live as well. So you get the full experience. It's not so different live than it is on the EP. Yeah.
You were mentioning that you were looking for other musos, but was it a case of just being happy with what you've got now?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it's been happy with what we've got, and I think it makes it a lot easier when it's just the two of us. It's not as much.
100%. We've even had a couple of gigs ago, someone came up to us because you should get a third member, and as a person who's been in three-piece, it's something about in two-piece, it's just a lot easier, because if one person says something and the other person agrees, it's you go with it. But as a third person, you can say one person be like, yeah, I agree with that, and the other person goes, oh, I don't know about that. And there's this tension sort of rises because there's always this one person disagreeing, and there's there's this gridlock. Whereas if there's two people who are very like-minded, such as ourselves, it's just very smooth running, and I feel like we have a lot of good ideas.
Yeah. So I guess what you can do is you both can explore one idea, and if that's not quite working out, then you might try an alternative. Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Makes communication a lot easier as well, just between two people. Practice as well, rehearsal. One person rather than.
Yeah. How does it work when one of you lives in Camden and one lives here in Wollongong? Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you just sort of find a place in between to meet, or what?
Well, when we write, Ewan usually has his own like little studio kind of thing in his room, and so he sort of writes in there, and then when he gets to a point where he's comfortable to share it with me, he'll send it to me.
Okay. And
I'll give some like feedback. He'll be like, that bit's great, maybe double that chorus, do this. Like I sort of, I don't know, produce, edit it kind of.
Yeah.
And he takes it on board, kind of, or he might be like, I tried that and that didn't work.
Yeah.
And when we jam, we usually find a place in Wollongong to jam.
I guess though you are getting better at, I guess, second guessing what will work and how to work with each other, even though you might be just sending emails to each other. Yeah. Yeah. You say if you sort of listen to a file and you think, I know what it could do, and it's just kind of intuitive.
Yeah. And then sometimes it's like for the song Hold On, like we had an original structure for it, but I just found it was too like heavy and too repetitive, so I changed that, and then Matt was like, I'm not too sure about that, and I was like, just trust me, you'll like it once it's done. Yeah.
And I was doubtful pretty much the entire time. I was like, I don't know. And then it wasn't until we got recorded my drums, he mixed it and put it all together, and I was like the complete puzzle. I was like, this is what Ewan was hearing. So even then, like, even if I doubt it, Ewan has to be kind of, you might have to push me, be like, no, trust me, kind of thing, because I know I can be a bit stubborn with that sort of stuff. So.
That's good creative tension there. Yeah, cool.
We're just like pushing and challenging one another, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's really good as well. Let's take a break, and we'll be back talking with Hollow Heights. They're going to be playing at the Mosh Pit on the 15th. You're on the Australian Independent Music Show. You can also hear us all around the world on www.voxfm.org.au. You can hear us in Camden. You can hear us in Campbelltown. You can hear us in Corrimal. Yeah.
All around the world.
All around the world. So you can hear us. I'm just trying to think of where else. You can hear us in Canada as well.
So, Antarctica.
And Antarctica, if you can.
Shout out to all the penguins.
Yeah, all the penguins. I'm sure all the penguins are listening and dancing. Happy feet. Yeah. Indeed. What is it? So we're talking with Hollow Heights. They're going to be playing on the Mosh Pit on the 15th and up in Sydney. And we're listening to their new EP called Glimmer of Sun. And who do you guys listen to at the moment in terms of music, and who you're being influenced by?
Do you want to go first? Or me go first?
Well, I've been influenced by every single song I've ever heard, whether it's good or bad. But it's not really one. Like at the moment, I'm listening to like Michael Bublé, and then next week I'll be listening to like Taylor Swift or like anyone, John Mayer, or anyone like that. It's wide like variety. Alicia Keys.
I still sort of listen to the same sort of music. It's actually a lot sort of heavier when you listen to the sort of Sabbath and Rage Against the Machine and Metallica's and that. But again, I don't mind. He's actually introduced me to Coldplay. I've been listening to Coldplay a little bit. I was like, these guys are alright. So I think I can be a bit narrow-minded to the music I listen to, but at the same time I want to try and listen to more different, maybe like indie and pop and hip-hop kind of stuff. I was just saying, just trying to appreciate that sort of genre a bit more as well.
Sort of influencing each other with the music styles. I mean, you mentioned the more Coldplay and stuff, but
I guess
two-way kind of.
Matt's more into like heavier music, but like when I was in like year 7 and like year 10, I was listening to like Bring Me the Horizon and like really heavy music as well. So
cool. Cool. That's interesting. Now the EP itself, it's a lot of electronic bit. But you were saying during the break it's kind of less electronic than the previous record.
The previous self-titled album.
Yeah. So was that because of the bass lines and the drumming and?
Yeah, well, I think 3 of the songs were written like on bass, which all the bass on the first album was electronic, so it was like, added bass into it, and then I actually tried to make some of them a bit more electronic, but it didn't work, so in my head I was like, the guitar would sound better, so they ended up having a lot more guitar on them as well than originally. It's
interesting you start with the bass rather than, say, guitar or piano or keyboards,
Most of the time I do start with piano or keyboard or like guitar. But for the 3 songs on the album, on the EP, like they started with bass, which was kind of like playing bass was like a new thing for me. Yeah,
because I think the self-title is a lot more piano and guitar, whereas this one's very bass driven.
Yeah. No, that's cool. And you're saying it was all recorded at home. Was it produced?
Yeah, it was all everything was. The only thing that wasn't recorded in my room was the only thing that wasn't recorded in my room was drums, which was recorded at SLM Studios.
SLM Productions in North Wollongong.
Yeah.
Okay.
So massive thank you to them.
Yeah.
And then the rest, it was all mixed and stuff in my room. So.
Okay. Cool. Okay, well, let's hear another song, shall we? Title track, Glimmer of Sun? Yeah, here we go. We're talking with Hollow Heights. They've got a gig on at the Mosh Pit on the 15th. And, this is the title track off their new EP.
How do I ask Poseidon to stop deciding to take you away? Should always be on the shore with me, not washed out to sea. But your time has come. I hope you rest peacefully. Every time those waves would come, you'd be a glimmer of sun into my life, not like your son, but like your daughter, my mom, and I don't know when, but I hope that I'll see you again. This won't be the end, 'cause I miss you. Yeah, I miss you. Remember when we drove to Blackpool and traded money for fun? You were the master of fun, and you'd always have your jokes. I love the way you spoke. It's like an angel singing softly into my ear. I wish you were here. I wish you were here. 'Cause every time those waves would come, you'd be a glimmer of sun into my life, not like your son, but like your daughter, my mom, and I don't know when, but I hope that I'll see you again. This won't be the end, 'cause I miss you. Yeah, I miss you. Every time I think of you, I feel like crashing down. I hate that you were leaving, but I know it's not your fault. I'll try my best to live for you, but somehow I don't think I'll measure up. But I'll try for you. Every time those waves would come, you'd be a glimmer of sun into my life, not like your son, but like your daughter, my mom, and I don't know when, but I hope that I'll see you again. This won't be the end, 'cause I miss you. Yeah, I miss you. Every time those waves would come, you'd be a glimmer of sun into my life, not like your son, but like your daughter,
Glimmer of Sun. The title track off by Hollow Heights off their new EP, and they've got a gig on at the Mosh Pit on the 15th. So how did that one all come together?
That's probably the most personal. That's probably the most personal song on the EP. It was about like the loss of a loved one close to me, my gran. And then it was written. I was just like went to the beach one night, so I just had to write about it and get it out. And then that song just started playing on the ukulele, and then that kind of didn't write itself, but it just kind of flowed out of me.
Yeah, ukulele.
Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of
it's easy to tell who's the talented one here.
Yeah.
I couldn't really bring the bass and the bass amp on the beach, so that was the best option.
Fair enough. You probably would have scared all the other surfers away, you know.
Seagulls.
Yeah, the seagull. So no, ukulele, why not? I guess you got to get your the inspiration comes when the inspiration comes. So yeah. Cool. So with the EP, you said you've released it online. Are you looking at releasing any physical copies, or what's the story?
In the future, once we build up some kind of fan base and people start asking for it.
Okay, cool.
I guess, when there's just demand for it, because right now there isn't. So if people start coming up to us like, can I have a CD of it, then we'll definitely think of try and get some CDs and send them out to people.
So this Mosh Pit gig, is this one of your first gigs?
It's probably our fifth show or something like that.
So we had quite a few days last year, but now we're really pushing it more
this year.
Yeah.
Last year's more spent writing this.
So you've got this gig, and I think when you approached me, Matthew, about the interview, you had a whole slew of gigs lined up, So you've got this one at the Mosh Pit. What other ones?
There's one at the Hideaway Bar. Is it 19th of April? Is it?
Yeah.
Let me just really quickly look that up. I believe so. 18th, day off. There you go. 18th of April will also be at the Hideaway Bar.
And any Wollongong shows?
We're trying to organise one. We're looking hopefully at La La La's, but they're pretty booked out at the moment. But we're looking mainly there at the moment.
And then one in Canberra on the 7th
Oh yeah, we've got one in Canberra, 7th of May at the Basement.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How'd you score that?
We were meant to play, we went down, when was that? Friday?
Yeah,
Sunday?
Friday.
The other day to Canberra. We got there and the venue couldn't run our gear. So we drove 2.5 hours for them to go, we can't get you guys to play. And the dude who organised that show saw that and just felt so bad. He's like, I'm sorry that you drove all this way. And we were just gutted. And he goes, look, I've got another show in Canberra, 7th of May, do you want to hop on that? And we sort of looked at each other and went, oh, all right. So risking it once more. And if we'd play there and that sort of blows up, then we're like, we won't worry about Canberra.
We might have to give them a call to make sure they've got the right gear,
Yeah, well, that's the only time it's ever not worked. Every other venue can support it. So
so I guess it's you want to do a few gigs in Sydney and just kind of test how you're going, and then might even try not only Wollongong but places like Melbourne as well.
We're looking at Melbourne for later on in the year to don't plan that. Cool.
So you got the show at the Mosh Pit. Who's on with you?
Blake Williams and the Kilbys.
Ooh, local band.
Yes,
good to see the Kilbys. They've been doing so much lately.
Yeah, I know. They've been killing it.
Yeah. So was that your choice, or?
We've had a few bands pull out, and we just went, Kilby's pretty reliable, so I asked them.
You know the drummer.
Yeah, I know the drummer Cameron. He was in another band, Killer Cars. Don't think they're around anymore, and he's joined them, and I'm good mates with Cameron, and I asked him. He asked the band, and got back to me going, we're cool to do it.
The Kilbys are doing fine things indeed. The Mosh Pit up in Sydney, that's in Newtown.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, cool. Newtown. Okay, cool. Well, thanks guys for coming in. And shall we go on?
I reckon Do you reckon Hold On?
Hold On?
That's a heavy one.
Yeah.
This one's probably where you're talking about where we're influencing one another.
Yeah.
Because this one's heavy and got the calm. So I think this is probably one of the better ones where it's the half of me influencing the heavy and him bringing in the calmness.
Okay.
So it's good, yeah.
I'm getting a yin and yang feel here.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Thank you once again.
No worries. Thanks,
We've
Ben.
been to the next follow.